What's going on, everybody? We're back. I'm Keith Tankersly with Tankersly Fit. I got Christian Connors in the house today. We just got done training, doing a little workout. Today we're just gonna kind of dig in deep on our fitness journey, our sobriety journey. What brought us here, the reason behind it all. Just give you guys some heads up on what we've gone through, where we're going, and maybe it can help others out that are on the same path. That want sobriety in their life, want fitness in their life, and want to change who they are and what direction they're going, man. So,
Yeah,
well,
today we want to kind of tell you what it was like, and we're gonna keep it lighthearted. We're gonna have some funny stories in there, and some of those stories are painful, but we can look back on them now that we've changed and made adjustments to our life, and learn those lessons, but also laugh at how dumb we used to be sometimes.
they are funny sometimes when you're looking back. You know, times I've always liked to look back at the stories and the things I've been through because it helps keep me sober, man. That's the one main driver that keeps me sober. I try not to shut the door fully on the past, man. That's what I was taught, anyway.
Yeah, and so I wanted to get into this one story about me getting jammed up by the police. That's when I went away for those 10 years. It's at the top of my Instagram. You can check out the footage on that. So I'm driving, I'm in my neighborhood, I'm in a stolen car, got the gun on me, and I start getting followed by a cop, and I'm like, maybe he's not following me. So I just keep, driving nice and slow, and then I notice another cop coming this way with the lights on. I'm like, oh, there we go. And so they box me in, and this is funny to me now, and it was a serious situation. And shit was really like a movie, but as they boxed me in, I had two thoughts. One, my daughter was only 2 months old at the time, and I knew I had to get home to her. So I thought, fuck, I gotta get home to my daughter. And then this is the funny part, because that shit's not funny. The funny part was my second thought was, what would Dominic Toretto do? And I threw that bitch in reverse and slammed into that motherfucking cop. And then as I go to pull off to the right and to get out of there, the other cop starts dumping into the windshield. But, I threw my hands up, hit the brakes, and I'm like, all right, all right. And shout out to that cop for stop shooting. Thanks for not killing me. I appreciate you, man.
Man, what was going through your head when you did that, man? Did you know they'd shoot at you?
No, honestly, I wasn't trying to hit the cop. I did obviously try to run into the cop to make some space in the cop car, but as I turned and tried to get away, the cop jumped in front of me, and I didn't mean to hit him with the car, but he ended up on the bumper shooting at me and all that shit. But it was a crazy moment. I remember laying on the ground, and bleeding and just looking up and like, I'm going away for a while now. Fuck it. I guess this is what's going on.
Let me ask you this: were you intoxicated when you did it?
Of course, man.
Percent.
Of course. I've never been arrested sober. And ever since I've been sober, I haven't been arrested. There's a correlation there.
It's funny you talk about that. I was taught last time I went to jail, I was like, that was the first time I've ever been to jail sober, and it was just a mishap and misunderstanding that wasn't even me. I've talked about it before, but that's why sobriety is so important. Most people that are in prison, in jail, or from things they've done when they're intoxicated, a lot of times it was blacked out. I woke up in jail a lot of times blacked out, not even knowing how I got there. That's just a terrifying moment because you don't know what you did, you don't even know what you're getting charged for, and you don't know what kind of ride you're going on. That's a scary ass feeling, man.
Yeah, and it's fun at the beginning, you're with your friends, but towards the end of it and you're in your addiction and your alcoholism, you really end up alone. And you get separated from the people that love you because you're ashamed of the person you are at the time. You don't want to spend time with them. And I remember towards the end of my journey I remember just not wanting to even look myself in the mirror or get up in the morning because I just hated who I was at the time. But ever since I've changed, it's not easy all the time. And I'm not going to front to you like it's easy all the time, but I love my life today and I'm happy and I get to spend time with a lot of good dudes and a lot of good people, and I have a good girl in my life, and I'm able to be a good man for her because I'm not hiding my actions. I'm not hiding who I am. I'm not hiding my drug use and alcoholism from anybody at this point because I just know how to be an honest man. And I took them 12 steps and never looked back.
Amen to that, man. What do you think it is about alcohol that the world seems to say it's okay, man, and disregard the hazards behind it, man? I notice that a lot. It's very acceptable for most of the world to drink. Even though I personally, I think it's one of the most dangerous drugs there is, man. Because, the denial is just so strong when it comes down to all, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Now, you know what I think it is? I think it's just growing up when you're with your family and whatnot. Who's drinking? The men. The men are drinking. So you grow up and you think that's what men do. You think men drink. You think we're tough. We fight, and we don't show emotions because that's what I know. That's what I saw growing up, and I'm sure you saw some of the same, and that just makes it okay within your community. If all the men are drinking, everybody else is gonna drink because as men, we need to lead the community. So
Absolutely. Alcohol has always been my drug of choice because, I didn't like the paranoid feeling I got from other drugs. I always liked the, bulletproof feeling that alcohol gave me, and the confidence, even though it's fake ass confidence because really
that liquid courage.
yeah, there's nothing more loppy than an inebriated dude, Someone who runs their mouth, so can't back it up. Because that's what it truly is. I had drinking, You think you could ride faster, you think you're smoother when you talk, and all that's furthest from the truth. Just that's why it's so treacherous for me. I put myself in situations with 100% confidence that I had it handled and nothing to back it up. So that was one of the reasons I got into fitness because I was getting myself in so many bad situations all the time. I at least needed to be physically fit enough to try to handle my own because I was a belligerent fool most of my time out there.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things that worked for me while I was getting sober, I was in the gym twice a day, and anytime I got squirrely about wanting to use, I would either drop down and do a set of burpees until I forgot about it, or I'd go hit the gym and just zone out in there. And that's what worked for me. And I think fitness can help a lot of people, but you also need other things. Therapy helped for me as well. Like I mentioned, the 12-step program. I had to do a lot. It wasn't easy, but if you're willing to take the suggestions and do the right things each and every step of the way and just listen to that voice in your head because God's telling you what to do. And that's up to you whether you want to give that will back to God or keep your will and keep fucking up your life. I chose to give my will
Amen.
back.
Amen. I've always loved the serenity prayer, man.
Absolutely.
I always go back to that. God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change.
The courage to change things I can. We're going to do this difference.
Wisdom,
Absolutely. The wisdom. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Anyway. So, what was your drug of choice, man? I know you play with alcohol a lot, but what was your favorite drug?
Yeah. So my favorite drug was for sure cocaine. And now that I'm on the West Coast, I wish I knew that meth was so much cheaper. I swear to God. I'm never gonna do that shit again, so I don't give a fuck anymore. But cocaine was hella expensive. I went hella broke, and I robbed a lot of people over that shit. And it caused me and a lot of people a lot of pain. That addiction, among other things. I smoked weed. I drank. That's where it started, and then it led to other things, pop pills. I never went too far off the deep end, I guess. I mean, what is the deep end? I got sentenced to 10 years in prison, so I guess I did. I guess I did. But yeah, cocaine fucked my life up. It fucked my mental state up, and it took me a while to come back from that. I'm not a suicidal, depressive, I'm not that kind of person when I'm sober. But off cocaine, I really wanted to kill myself at one point. I just wanted to be over. I hated coming down. I hated having to rob people and hurt people just to stay high. That hurt me and that hurt my soul. And I couldn't do it anymore.
No, that feeling inside that you get when you're on a sick come down, man, on anything you've been living wrong for a while. It's just there's nothing nobody can say to you that's more painful than how you're talking to yourself. Like I'm repeated this many times before, but it's just when my wife would yell at me, I just told her to save her breath because there's nothing you can't possibly say anything worse than how I'm talking to myself right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
there's a brick wall that I put up, man. So it was just very, very painful.
And I know you've mentioned it recently that why don't you try to stop and see how that works out for you?
Yeah.
That's just not easy. And I promise you, you need help. And as men, we don't like to ask for help, but you need help. And one of the times, like these kind of stories that I'm about to tell you don't happen to regular people. So if you relate to this story, you probably need help. So I
Absolutely.
remember I had 2 months sober at the time, and I just wanted to relapse. I'm like, fuck it. I want to get high. So I went to the dispensary. I thought, weed's harmless. Let me just smoke a little bit of weed. And I go, I get an eighth, I get some rolling papers, I go back to my apartment, I roll up one, smoke that, and I'm blasted because it's been 2 months since I was high. And I just remember talking so much shit to myself,
Yeah.
telling myself, "You fucking idiot, why did you fucking do this?" But then that addict kicked in and said, "Well, I still have 3 grams left. I'm not gonna throw it away because I just spent my money on it." So I just rolled it all up and smoked it all. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm too high. I got to take a nap. And then I'm having nightmares, and it was just torture, man. And so anytime you decide to go sober, relapsing does happen, but I promise you it's not going to be fun. It's not.
Yeah, that's real. If you think you're tough, try to quit, man.
Yeah, try that shit.
Yeah, you know, people are more scared of emotional pain than they are physical pain. They run out and take a bullet and get in a fight much easier than they could try to quit the vice that holds them to their lifestyle. I've noticed that because they're attached to it, their soul's attached to it, and they'll just give everything just to stay in their sickness. And
Yeah.
that shit's real, man.
And to get back onto a fitness topic, it's very hard to maintain weight, lose weight, or gain weight and keep it in one area. When I was using, I know my body weight would fluctuate to extremes. I'd get overweight, I'd be a buck 50. I'd be in the middle, overweight. I'm up and down, up and down. It's like the roller coaster of getting high and coming down.
Yeah.
You can't maintain a healthy lifestyle while you're using drugs, drinking alcohol on a constant basis. And I know you can relate to that.
Yeah, it keeps you too inconsistent all the time. You're too worried about drinking and coming down all the time, so your metabolism's not working right. Nothing's working right. Takes about a week for it to get out of my system anyways before I could start getting back on point. That's how I was. So
So, Keith, what was your rock bottom?
man, I've had a lot of rock bottoms, but the one that hurt the most, that wasn't even the most scary that happened in my life, was losing my kids. Man, that was the one that really made me have to stop and take a look at my life and really make a change, really make a decision whether because I was at a point in my life. I'm 40 years old. I got two directions I can go from this point. Straight havoc and chaos and jail time, prison time, or I can take the hard route. Which is to become sober and change my whole life around. So I lost my kids about 2 years ago and 5 months ago. 2 years and 5 months ago. I was sitting in my garage drinking a bottle of tequila like I'd always do. I was working crazy ass night shifts, swing shifts, so it wasn't nothing for me to stay up all night. And I'd sit in my garage. I'd turn the music up real loud. My wife was trying to sleep. My whole family was trying to sleep, and I'd just hang out in there. Just talk shit and just carry on, man, by myself, causing havoc in my own space. I thought I wasn't hurting nobody at the time, so it wasn't doing nothing to nobody. Anyways, my wife had enough of my shit, man. She really did that night. She came out there talking shit to me and taking pictures of me and taking pictures of the bottle that I had next to me. Telling me who I really was is what was going on. Telling me what kind of dad I was, and that shit hurt because I've always loved my kids to death. So that really struck a nerve with me. And anyways, we had a little dispute over it. Wasn't nothing big, but she called the cops on me the next day. The next day she called the cops on me, and I was sitting in my bedroom with my son. The cops came in my house, and she had pictures of the bottles and all the shit I was doing, all the shit I was talking, and they arrested me in my house, man. They took me to jail for that, and they kept me from my kids, my own house that I owned. They kicked me out of my own house, and I had to find a place to live for about 6 months. While I was going to AA meetings all the time, they put me on a sobriety program. It was the best thing that ever happened in my life because if I didn't get in those programs and meet all those people that tell me the truth about who I was and how I was living and the reason I was the way I am, I might have never got it, man. And it was funny. I talked to God about it right after I got out of jail. I talked to God about it, and he straight told me, he said, "This is your last fucking chance, man. This is it for you. The next time it's not gonna go good for you, man." So So that was the defining moment that I decided, I'm gonna give this everything I got. It's either now or never. I'm not gonna touch the bottle anymore. I'm gonna hit these programs hard, and I'm gonna go through what I need to to be sober, because being
Absolutely.
sober is the only path that I have. Because when I'm drunk and when I'm drinking, I don't know any other way but chaos, man. I just don't. I can't get it through my head. I'm not a bad person trying to get good. I'm a sick person trying to get well, man.
Right. And you're not your authentic self when
Not at all. Not at all, man.
you can't be.
Not at
You
all.
got too much going on in here to be authentic and to be honest and be yourself, and you become ashamed with who you are.
Yeah.
And
You know what else is crazy? Have you ever felt this, man? I When I was in my sickness and the worst, I always told myself, man, I love them all to death. So as long as I authentically love them, I'm not causing any shit. You know what I'm saying? It's weird what our mind does to try to, you know, make shit seem validate, or make shit seem all right. We just tell ourselves so many fucking lies. It's crazy, bro.
yeah, absolutely. I used to tell myself that with the mother of my child. We were together since we were 13 years old, had a kid together, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, oh, she'll never leave me as long as I love her and I don't leave her.
Yeah. See.
She left.
Yeah.
You fuck up enough, they gonna leave, man. I promise you.
Yeah. How about you, man? What was rock bottom for you? I know you have all these crazy stories, but you know,
um,
what was
you
it?
you were spot on with your rock bottom, and I know a lot of men out there can relate that have children. My rock bottom, it wasn't even the 10 years. That was rough watching my daughter grow up in pictures and not being able to see her and hold her in person. But rock bottom for me was a decision that I made.
Yeah.
It was a decision. I had been running for a few months, using, breaking into houses. I just remember sitting on the couch one night ready to go out. And my daughter's always my background screen because I love her to death, and I just want to see her every time I look at my phone and just see her all day, every day. And I remember looking at that picture in my hand and thinking to myself, if I leave this house right now, I don't know when I'm going to ever see you again.
Oh, deep, bro.
And I left that house. I put that phone down and I left that house. And I got arrested. I went on a high speed chase, got locked up again. And that's the time I just did. And sitting in the cell praying to God, like, why did I do that? And I just remember that moment looking at that picture of my daughter and I left her. And I've done that every time. And that was my rock bottom. And everything I do today, tomorrow, and the next day is to be in that little girl's life. And that's never going to change ever again. That was my rock bottom.
Man, isn't that funny how God gives us a little warning before some shit happens? I've never went into a bad situation and not got that warning first, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same with you, but
And we got these thick ass skulls. We don't like to
yeah.
listen.
Yeah,
But we get those warnings every time.
we think we're not spiritual beings, man, but we are to the core. I've always said that, man. We're spiritual beings having an earthly experience.
Yeah.
Our connection to God is it's just real, man. He'll guide you and lead you every which way you're supposed to go and help you make the right decisions if you listen. But that's why vices are just part of the devil's work, man. They keep you distorted, keep your mind going places it's not supposed to, make you think that everything's all right, and gives you reasons to validate bullshit behavior all the time.
Yeah. The things that work for me to fight that off and fight those mental demons is reading books, prayer, meditation, and exercise. Those
Yeah.
four things right there get me out of my head, and they get me thinking clearly, and they elevate my frequencies so I can be a better person throughout the day. So I try to knock those out first thing in the morning. I got my checklist. I get those checked off and I get to my day, and I bring that person to the rest of the day.
Straight up. Yeah, every man is addicted to something. For you ladies out there that think, I've always been told every time I leave an addiction, I pick up another one. Well, that's true in a lot of senses because I am addicted personality, and that's the way it's going to be. I'm either going the right direction, full bore, or I'm going the wrong direction. There is no in between for me. I know a lot of men are like that, and I surround myself with a lot of people like that because I'm just attracted to that excitement, man. So, and there's a lot of guys out there that try to ride the middle line, and then they think they don't need fitness, they don't think they need sobriety, but they have that addictive personality and they're driving themselves fucking crazy trying to be stagnant when stagnation just doesn't exist for you, bro. You need to understand that shit. You have to find fitness and you have to find prayer. You have to be around people that are there to lift you up. You have to push yourself in the right direction every day, man, because it's daily work that you have to do. It's never over. It's never over until you're done, until you're dead, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, man? I feel like that.
Yeah, if I'm not moving forward, man, I honestly just feel like shit and feel like shit about myself. And like we said earlier, I'm my biggest critic, and nobody can say anything to me that I'm not already saying to myself. And just remembering to be nice to myself because I am working and I'm doing the right thing. But even then, I still feel like I'm not doing enough. But that's what's gonna make me great at the end of the day because when I don't feel like I'm doing enough, I'm really actually doing stuff. So when I put in that extra effort, I'm gonna get those extra results.
Yeah.
And for all of you out there, I just urge you to find habits that work and stack them on top of each other. Start journaling. Journal one day every day for 1 week. Then take that into the next week and meditate or prayer. Pray or meditate after you journal for 1 day each week. That's 1 week, 2 weeks. Third week, get some exercise in. Just build it up. Build it up slowly. One thing, 1 week at a time. And after you know it, you'll have a bunch of habits stacked up that are elevating your lifestyle.
Man, yeah, what was that like? So the cops shot you in your hand?
Yeah, right in my little thumb.
Man, they were trying to kill your ass, bro.
Yeah, man.
Were you flipping out? My bad.
Yeah, I swear, yo. Once I hit, he was on the hood of the car, blowing, boom, boom. He hit 5 times, and I'm throwing my hands up. I'm like, all right, all right.
Once you knew that shit was real, you're like, I'm done.
Yeah, man. And I wasn't about to blink back because then it was 2-on-1. I'm boxed in. They gonna kill my ass. I'm really blessed that I'm not dead right now because my hand was on that wheel and it ricocheted off my thumb. And if my hand wasn't there, that's my face.
Woo.
And you don't survive a bullet to the face. I don't know too many people that have.
No, man, that's crazy. That's a crazy ass story, bro.
Yeah. Nah, but that shit, it's funny to think back on it, but I was really living like Grand Theft Auto, man, and I had pride in that shit, and that shit was so fucking dumb. I used to say that shit. That was like me bragging. I don't play GTA. I live that shit. Like thinking back on the person that was 10 years ago. Actually, like a month ago, that was 10 years ago, and just thinking back on the man that I used to be, I just laugh at myself. I was such a jackass. And I tell guys like you and guys that have been through it, like, why? Like, why were we doing that shit? It's so stupid.
Yeah, vices just put you in crazy situations like that, man.
Yeah.
They put you around people that feel like they got something to prove because every day they wake up feeling shitty about themselves, so they got to prove it to themselves a lot. A lot of that's youth too, man. A lot of that's I contribute a lot of that to youth. You just don't know yet, man. You're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, for me, I just wanted the guys that I was around to be proud of me and the way I thought that was gonna happen, like being the most violent person, selling drugs, getting money, fucking bitches. Like that's what I thought was cool. That's what I thought the people around me would think was cool, and that was the lifestyle. And that lifestyle is not worth it. It's not because it's fun as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun as fuck at the beginning. The first few years, motherfucking a riot. It's so much fun. But guess what starts happening? Your best friends get shot. They get killed. Some of them overdose. You get sentenced to time. Your friends get life sentences.
Yeah.
Like everything gets taken away little by little. I have so many close friends that I haven't seen or been in the vicinity with them other than prison. We grew up together from elementary school. And then it was either I'm in prison, he's not in prison, we're in prison together. And shout out Wesley because, like I always ended up with Wesley. And that's my guy forever. And you just got out, stay the fuck out. Stick around. I'll do anything for you, bro. hit me up.
That's deep, man. Right on, bro.
Yeah.
We just talking right now about booking a private jet. What you guys think about that shit, man? I don't
Yeah,
know.
man. I ain't never been on no private jet, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Uh,
Like, yeah, you might be that one guy that gets the bag and is selling the bricks on the street, and you might take them private jets, but then you get that private sale for 20 to life. You don't want that shit, man. Stay out, make money online or however you want to make money, and live life. You don't need to do all that other shit. There's so many ways. We just didn't know that. I did not know how many ways there was to make money legitly. I thought it was robbing people, selling drugs. I thought I had two options. I learned. I picked up books. I read a lot of fucking books. And I journaled. I have so many notebooks from prison of taking notes from books. And I've implemented those into my life. And it's helped me become financially stable for the first time in my life.
Yeah, that's kind of part of this journey, man, is writing, man. We can't get away from it because when you're speaking and you're talking to people, it just comes with the territory. You write, man.
Yeah, you
It's
have to.
it's part of it. It's just so a little bit about what I do, what I've decided to start doing now with my life is I've decided to help people through their fitness journey, through their sobriety journey, trying to get them on point with their health. You know, because the health is directly correlated to the mind, how you feel about yourself, and it makes you excel in every point in your life. A lot of people, they try to focus on certain areas of their life without leveling up themselves first. And really leveling up yourself, getting your health, getting in shape, getting your mind right is really the key component to excelling everything that you touch in your life. Everything starts turning to gold when you become the product that you wish to attain. You know, instead of chasing it, you become it, and it attracts it. You know,
Right.
I found that to work out really well, and I've been doing that ever since, man. And it's just it's made everything better. My relationship, you know, it has its problems, like any relationship does. Any relationship where two people care about each other, there's going to be problems. If there's no arguments, she probably don't like you, bro.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. You know, there's nothing to fight about if she don't care. But yeah, it's just really excelled my life. So I'm trying to help other people out there that are struggling, that are in dysfunctional marriages, that are full of alcoholism, and they're not fit and they feel shitty about themselves, so they project that onto their loved ones because that's how you do it. There's no way you can give full amount of love to somebody when you don't love yourself. That's just, you can't give what you don't have. That's the truth of it. So I'm out there trying to help others do it, man. And that I offer that program. I'll run you through I'll give you daily workouts, takes out all the guesswork. I'll do full nutrition plan, and I'm there to back you through everything as well, coach you. I'll help you with your sobriety journey as well, and I'll let you know the steps that I took to get sober and the honesty that I had to take to look in the mirror and tell myself the truth, because that's what it comes down to. That's why the first step is what, dog?
First step is what is it?
Admit that you have a problem. Admit you're
Right.
an
Right.
alcoholic. You know, to thy own self be true. It says it on the back of the coin, man.
Yeah.
It's just it's you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth first. So you can't. It's very hard to excel if you can't do that first. You know. So that's what I'm about. So I'm a fitness coach, sobriety coach, health coach, mental health coach, and you know, I always push God too. A lot of people don't like that, but you know, that's who I am. God pushed me through it. He helped me through it. He warns me when problems are coming my way, and He tells me what I need to do. So I'm not gonna tell you guys something that didn't work for me, because that's all I have is my own experience, man. So, man, what are you doing as far as your fitness? You know, what do you offer your clients, man?
For sure, man. So what I offer you is fitness, nutrition, and accountability coaching. I'm going to give you daily exercises that are going to have videos so you know exactly what to do. You're going to have two-way messaging with me so you can ask questions and make sure you're doing the proper exercises with the proper weights to push yourself and push your limits. I also do meal plans, nutrition guides, and macros. If you don't know what macros are, reach out to me, DM me. I'll calculate your macros for free. And I also do accountability. We're going to hop on Zoom one time a week, and we're going to go through a checklist one time a week, two separate check-ins, and we're going to make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and we're going to make adjustments to your program to make sure that you get the results that you want. And I promise you that if you do the work and you follow the steps, you're going to see the results. I'm not going to bullshit with you and say, oh, it might work for you. If you do what you're supposed to do during the program and take each step seriously and take your life and your fitness seriously, I will make your life change. I promise you that.
Yeah, that promise is real right there. But people want easy, man. This shit's not
This shit
easy.
ain't easy. It's not gonna be easy for you, and I'm
Nothing's
not
gonna
gonna be
be,
easy for
yeah.
you. I'm gonna kick you in your ass.
Yeah, nothing's gonna be easy for anybody, man. I've tried telling people that because I've had a lot of clients that'll quit, within the first month, do a few workouts, and then get mad when their results look exactly like the effort that they put in. Man, it's
Yeah,
just,
that's a big part to it.
yeah,
If your results depend on what you do, I can't give you magic beans. There's no sensu beans. You're not
no,
Goku. You can't just eat a sensu
no,
bean and look great.
no.
You need to put the work in.
All these stupid ass diets and shit that people try to put you on, it's all bullshit. There's macro numbers, nutrient numbers that you need to hit straight up, and you need to put the workouts in order for your body. Time under tension. Okay, that's for a reason, man. Your muscles need time under tension in order to grow, and it needs proper nutrition as well. There's nothing easy about it, so you have to be accountable.
Yeah, you need a sustainable program that you're gonna enjoy,
Yeah.
especially the eating part. That's the biggest part for me because I would always order more than I could eat, and then I would overeat and continue to eat it because I'm like, well, I ordered it, so let me stuff myself and gain 10 pounds in one day. You're not gonna gain 10 pounds in one day, but sustainability is key. You want to eat what you like, but you have to know the amounts that you're eating. And you don't want to overeat or overindulge or underindulge and lose too much weight too fast and then you feel like shit. Sustainability is the key. Let's get you on a program that you enjoy and foods that you like.
There you go, man. I mean, don't you guys want a coach that's actually living the lifestyle, that's been through some shit, that can actually push you in the right direction? Because it takes a lot. It's taken a lot for us to get here. I know for me, especially at this point, it's taken me a lot to get here. It wasn't easy. It cost me a lot of time, a lot of money, I spent a lot of money on coaches myself, and I still do. I
Absolutely.
still do because, I enjoy the atmosphere, being around people that are ahead of me and people that are, can drop knowledge on me, man. And I appreciate that. Shout out to Mister. He's a badass fitness coach, man, and I enjoy being in his presence, even though there's not a whole lot to learn as far as working out. I'm there for the atmosphere and the pump and the being around dudes that are going the same direction, man. I love that shit. Man.
Absolutely. Now that we're on the topic of mentorship, I want to shout out PT Domination, Cole De Silva, Brian Mark, and all the coaches in the mentorship program community, man. You guys are helping a lot. I appreciate you a lot. And I look forward to continuing to working with you guys, man.
Hell yeah, you got to shoot out the people that fucking drop a game on us, man, to help us out through our fitness journey. All our journey.
Yeah, like Brian says, you got to do the things. If you just do the things, you will get the results. Just do the fucking things.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
I wanted to say something and ask you a question. What do you think about those guys? And they're in every gym. Every gym we go to, they're there. You go, what, 6, 7 times a week?
Yeah.
Seven
Yeah.
times a week. So you see almost the same people there at the same time you
I
go?
do. I do. I go to a private gym though nowadays.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
back
I
when
know
you
what you're
wasn't
saying.
so bougie,
Yeah.
was there those guys you see every day there, every time, and they still look the same when you're in there getting results? Why do you think that
They're
is?
there for social hour, man. They're there to talk and fucking shoot the shit. What's funny about those guys? They think they know everything too all the time. They have no intensity either. Straight up, man. The gym is a place I find is I like intensity, man. So I like to put that intense work in. If you're not putting in any kind of intensity in between your sets, you're not pushing yourself. And if your diet's not on point, you're wasting your time, man. It's just a total fucking waste of time. So I don't know. Some people are all right with their social hour. That's why they go there. I've busted a lot of people's balls that just walk around and talk many times, and they seem to be all right with that shit. Like they say they have no life, and that's what they enjoy doing. Other people that look at me funny, like what do I know that you don't? Well, it's intensity and getting your food right, man.
Yeah, and I tell you what, this shit pisses me the fuck off. If you're fat and in the gym and you're leaning on a machine, click, 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 click. I seen a motherfucker playing a video game. He's on the machine that I needed to use. He's sitting there. He's playing a video game. I'm going to check you every time. And now I don't like to be a dick and I don't like to be an asshole. But damn it, I'm gonna say something to your ass. You better get the fuck up. I need to use that. You playing video games? Go.
Yeah.
Get the fuck off the machine, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going for all that shit. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, public gyms drive me crazy for that reason right there, man. Yeah, the gym I work out at, we just go straight into it. 15 different sets or 15 different exercises, 5 sets, back to back to back, without any breaks, man. So
yeah, I worked out with Mister and them one time, man. That shit was awesome. I like that a lot.
yeah, so that's what I pay for, man. I pay for that, so I don't have to sit there and watch nobody text on the fucking machine, you know.
So what's your? I mean, that would be my number one pet peeve. Yeah. What's your number one pet peeve?
Well, another thing is since I've started this journey, the hardest thing I've had to deal with, I've almost been in 3 different fucking fights, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, 3 different fights I've almost been in, is doing content at a public ass gym, man. People just have a fucking problem with it. They try to say, one time, man, I was at a gym and this dude, it was very clear. I had my tripod set up. It was on me. It was very clear that it was on me. And he looked like he was with his new girlfriend. He was kind of trying to show off. He was on a good one, just took a shot of testosterone or whatever. I don't know. But he was trying to tell me I was trying to record his friend, his fat fucking friend that was sitting over there. And he started mouthing off, telling me he was going to kick my fucking tripod over. So kick it over then, motherfucker,
Go ahead if you want to.
Yeah, I mean.
Fuck around and find out.
No, I mean, is it really worth it for you to do that? Like, come on, man. It's very clear that I'm not trying to fucking record you, bro. And I said, I'm in here. I don't owe you an explanation, but I'm in here doing this as my business, man. Then he started yelling louder and louder and louder and louder. He said, can't you see there's no recording in this gym? Until the whole fucking gym, he caught the whole gym's out. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to not do nothing if you jump right now, bro. Especially with all these people watching. So what are you going to do? And he just stormed off. So it's just that kind of shit, man. I don't miss that in a public gym when I'm trying to record. Everybody's looking at me funny, trying to act like I'm trying to record them, acting like I'm in their way. Even though I'm still working out more intensely than them with my fucking tripod, but
we're still gonna show up and continue to shoot content. I promise you.
Yeah. Some gyms don't allow that shit though, and I try to sneak it in. Homeboy thought he tried to be a fucking snitch. That's what he was really doing. Yeah, he was snitching hell loud. He just kept getting louder and louder. No recording.
Yeah,
all right, bro.
That's like being in a joint and you about to fight somebody and they start, oh, you want to fight me? Yeah. Like, bro, just quietly go in the cell. But I'm glad you didn't get in a fight though, because we don't need those extra problems.
Yeah. Man. We don't need so what's that like, man? Tell us a fighting story in prison, man. If you want to go there right now, or we can go somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll tell you my first fight as an adult in jail. At the poker table, I like to gamble a bit. I'm a poker player, and I'm playing poker. And we're playing Omaha, and I go all in off the flop because I flopped a boat. Dude called me, and then there was some other people in the hand, but dude called me, and then at the end, when I turned over my cards and he saw that I had beat him, he was like, oh, you weren't in the hand, you didn't call. I said, bro, I had a boat off the flop, and he was like, oh, watch your mouth, watch how you talk to me. And I'm 19 years old, smart ass. And when I say smart ass, I was a smart ass. So I go, I can't. It's physically impossible to watch my mouth. And he goes, oh, you think you're funny? All right, let's go up in the cell. I said, all right, you got that. Went up there, beat the bricks off of him. He came out the cell. When they came and got me, the COs were like, we had to double check the cameras because he was so whooped out, we thought he got jumped. Yeah. Like it was, and I was coming off a run. I was 160 pounds coked out, and dude he was good 200 pounds, a little chubby. I was like, I just gave it to him. I was like, he think I'm some type of
motherfuckers didn't know they had an athletic monster on his tail.
This is just me coming off a run, man. You don't know
muscles and athleticism are 2 different things. I hope you guys know that shit, man.
Yeah. I know a lot of people used to always say to me, especially in jail, like, all that exercising, that weightlifting don't mean shit. I said, bro, I'm an athlete too. You could try if you want to. You're going to get your ass kicked. Now I got these muscles, it's just going to be worse.
If you got both, you're fucking dangerous, bro.
Yeah, man. But
what about you, man? Sorry.
I was just going to say, on the topic of fighting, I haven't been in a fight in almost 5 years, and I'm proud of myself because I used to deal with anger a lot, and I would just get in fights over the dumbest shit, but I've learned to not not go to that level because I hurt people and I don't want to.
Yeah, it's funny too. As soon as you get sober, you don't have to fight anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight anymore. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get sober, I don't find myself in situations having to fight anymore. I'm sure there will be one time or another, like that time in the gym, but you're in charge of yourself when you're sober minded. So, you could just kick back and wait and watch.
However, Jake Paul or any of you motherfuckers out there that is famous and think y'all can fight, I'm down whenever. We could throw on the
Hey, Jake
gloves.
Paul
I'll
trains
do that.
hard, man.
I know he
That
do. I
motherfucker
don't give a
trains
fuck. We
hard.
could do that shit for free. I know you about your bread and I'm about my bread, but I'm down to fight if it's in a healthy environment.
Yeah, Jake Paul's in shape, man.
Yeah, nah. Shout out Jake Paul. You be putting in work. I see you, man. Good luck with Javante Davis, though. He a beast.
Yeah. So what's your biggest pet peeve in the gym, man?
My biggest pet peeve, like I talked about, is probably texting. But so we'll go to my second one. It's when motherfuckers are sweaty and they don't wipe down their machine that they're using. Like, bro, I don't want to mingle. Then because I'm gonna go get a wipey and I'm gonna wipe it down, and I'm doing what you should have done. And I just want people to do the right thing. But when you get aggravated at people, it's because you're basing what you think they should do off your morals, and not everybody is how you are. So that's something that I try to not get worked up over because I can't control other people, and that's the serenity prayer right there. But that should be pissing me off sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, bro. So I'll tell one last story, man. About where alcohol has taken me. When in my younger years, this is just one of the situations that I've been in. I've been put around. Starts out lighthearted like always. Me and some of the homeboys were kicking back in my boy's house that I lived with. I'd go from house to house at the time. I was renting rooms from different places. Just because I'd follow the party crowd a lot. I was living with a homeboy when I was about 27, I think it was. And I had a few friends over at the time. We're kicking back. And the neighbor at the time to us had a cousin that he's in a biker group, so he ended up dropping by. He was wearing his cut at the time. No big deal. Anyways, we had our girls with us. We were all kicking back, getting fucked up. We ended up deciding to all go bowling that night. So he ended up coming with us, and the dude was wearing his cut the whole time, man. While we were bowling and everything, I thought it was kind of fucking strange. But anyways, he started hitting on my homeboy's wife real bad. He was getting all blacked out and out of pocket. We all were, but he started hitting on my buddy's wife, man. And my buddy, he was my boss at the time. He was a framer, real rough motherfucker. Just a cat that had heavy hands. He liked to fight a lot. His hands felt like fucking sandpaper when you shook him, man. Just dude knew how to handle his own, man. And I tried to tell dude, probably not the guy you want to fuck with because he's light on his feet. Anyways, he just didn't care, man, because he was wearing his cut and then he was about it. So he just kept persisting. We get back home, and at the time my room had two stairs that go down in my room, and I was sitting in the doorway with the old girl right next to me, my girl at the time, and the dude with the cut on sitting on my bed. We're sitting there having a beer, bullshitting, talking about the night a little bit, and my buddy Scott comes up to me in the back of me and he goes, "Keith, I'm sorry, bro." I was like, "What? What are you talking about, bro?" He said, "I'm sorry for what I'm about to do, dog." I was like, "What do you mean?" And before I could even react, he was already over. He jumped over the top of me and had dude by his neck and just, I mean, within seconds, because he's used to swinging a hammer, bro. It just like made his face hamburger meat, like fast, fast, fast. I jumped up. I'm grabbing the dude, and I'm pushing and I'm tackling Scott down on the ground, and he still got a hold of him. The dude's totally asleep. He's dragging him. It scared me, man, because I know how hard that guy swings. Anyways, so he took off, and the guy woke up on the floor. And, he's flipping out, looking at his face in the mirror. He's trying to figure out what happened. And I thought nothing else of it. I apologized to him. I said, "Man, I'm sorry that happened here in my house, bro. Really, I had no control over it. You probably shouldn't have been hitting on his wife and grabbing his wife's ass, man. He takes that shit real personal. It's over with." So he took off. 3 days later, it's on a Sunday night, man. I'm sitting down, I'm laying down in my bed, I was a womanizer. I was laying down with a different chick I had in my bed. And I had two roommates at the time. We get a knock on the door. And one of my roommates comes up to me, and I'm laying in bed. He said, Keith, so-and-so is here to see you. I said, oh, shit. All right. I jump up, throw my clothes on, go out the door. And then as soon as I step out the door, one guy steps behind me. Another guy steps to the side of me and puts a piece to my head. And then one guy steps in front of me. And then he's got an enforcer behind him with a ski mask on. He's got a ski mask on. And the dude in front of him's holding him like that. And he's trying to fucking lunge at me like this, dude. Yeah, I was flipping out inside. I was like, man, these motherfuckers are here to do work on me, bro. You know, I was nervous, dog. I was nervous. I'm like, motherfucker. I was like, what the fuck did I do to get this coming my way? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready for none of this shit. Anyways, they got that piece to my head. He's saying, what's his name? You know, where's he live? This and that. No, I don't know. I don't know where he lives. I don't really know much about him. He used to be an old boss of mine. He moved out of town. So they escorted me in my room and fucking took my phone. And when they were walking out, that guy, that enforcer dude, just kept lunging at me while he was holding back. And he pulled his arm away and he caught me in the freaking jaw. I think he hit me with a brass knuckle or something, man, or a butt of a gun, because my jaw snapped instantly. Yeah, just instantly snapped. I've been hit a lot of times. Maybe it was just the perfect spot, man, but I knew right as soon as I got hit, my shit just went sideways. I was like, motherfucker, bro. And that girl I was with was just flipping out, bro.
I bet.
What the fuck is going on? What kind of shit are you into,
What
man?
kind of shit you got going on here, too?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then they stepped in my house. All my roommates were just sitting there watching, you know. And a dude comes inside, says a few more choice words, man. It's like, you know, what the fuck are you gonna do, bro? Are you gonna, you know, it was either all or nothing at that point. You could cut your losses, or, you know, make it get ugly real quick. So, you know, they packed up and left their shit. But that's just, my point being was that was the kind of situations that I'd been in a lot.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit I was in a lot, man. You know, so my fucking jaw was wired shut for 6 weeks. You know, I had to try to talk through that shit, through my shit wired like that. It was just fucked up, bro.
I'm telling you, don't end up in these situations when
Yeah.
you're sober.
Yeah,
You're drinking. You guys are acting like fucking jackasses. Then
Yeah.
shit happens and shit gets serious. It happens all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that happened there because I was just there.
All right.
They were mad at me, you know. I'm affiliated. It's my house, you know. It's a rap for you. It could have been a rap for me.
Yeah.
Very easily, man.
I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been in spots like that before. I mean, I don't know. You know, a lot of people say, I would have jumped, I would have done something. Well, you could have, but I was outnumbered big time and they were all strapped, so probably wouldn't have went my way.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, one thing that comes to mind was, you know, me and a couple of my friends went to the club, and you know, they weren't from the gang or nothing. They were just, you know, some friends. But I'm like, bro, if we go out, some shit happen, you know, like some shit might happen. You know where I'm from, and you know what it is. A lot of people don't like us, and they're like, nah, you know, it's good. We going to this club. You know, it ain't gonna be like that. I said, all right, fuck it, let's go. So I get in the car. I get in the club, pay the doorman. I walk in the club. I look to the left of me, and there's like 20 motherfuckers sitting on the couches, all from the other side, all from, you know, the other side. You know what I mean? And I'm just walking, I'm looking at them, they're looking at me, and I'm like, well, I'm in this bitch now. I can't just leave. I'm not going to leave because I'm not a bitch, you know. You know how that is. So I'm in there, we chilling. They come up to me, they're like, oh, you killed me? I'm like, yeah, you already know. So they're like, oh, so after the club, it's up. I said, all right, whatever. So after club, you know, I tell the people that I'm with, I'm like, yo, some shit about to pop off. You know, some shit about to pop off. I told them what it was when we went out. Shit might pop off. You know where I'm from. You know how it gets. They're like, yeah, we got you, this and that, this and that. We walk out the club. Boom, I get swung on. I get to scrapping. I give it to them. Nowhere to be found. And luckily, you know, I was glad they didn't jump me. They let me get my little ones. I won the fight. We ended up in the middle of the street. Police come, everybody split up. and it happened quick, and it was over. But shit like that, where you're outnumbered, either 20 motherfuckers, and it's just you, because whoever you're with ain't really riding with you like that. It could get hectic quick, but I got lucky that
Shit.
night, man. I
Yeah,
just
you
they
did.
let me get my little 1-on-1 and get going. So
Yeah. Yeah, we tell these stories just to reminisce on the past, to help keep us sober, just to, and a lot of you guys are probably going through the same shit, thinking it's fun, it's cool, you get your little adrenaline fix from it, but there's other ways to do it. There's other ways to get your fix. If you really want to put that grind in on yourself, man. If you really want the challenge of fighting, try to fight yourself every day.
yeah,
Try to look yourself in the mirror and be accountable to what you said you were going to do. Try that out, man. Try showing up when you don't want to. Try eating correctly when you don't want to. Try counting your food when you don't want to. 'Cause that's definitely going to be a challenge for you. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you've never done it before, it's a pain in the ass.
yeah.
Until you learn how to do it.
If you're not honest with yourself and you're not keeping your word to yourself, I promise you're gonna be your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And there's a quick fix to that. Do what you're gonna say you do. Whatever you say, do that shit. It's quick. It's easy. It's simple. Just do what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just vibe with you, bro. I appreciate fucking doing podcasts with you. I appreciate hanging out with you because,
Yeah, man.
I'm still psychotic and crazy at heart, man. I am. That's who the fuck I am, bro. I need intensity, bro. And if I can't get it through doing stupid shit through alcohol, you guys see my content I'm doing, going to the swimming spots, I snowboard, fucking got it. I'm always doing something,
Gotta
man.
stay active.
Yeah, I
Gotta
need
stay
the
active.
fitness, and I gravitate toward crazy motherfuckers, but now I'm gravitating toward crazy motherfuckers with a purpose.
Yeah, don't get it twisted because you don't want to know what's still going on in these minds. We just know how to
Yeah,
control it and not to express it and what to
yeah,
do about it. And we want to help you with that same thing because we know that shit doesn't always leave you. I think some crazy shit sometimes, but I know I don't have to act on that. And I can laugh at those thoughts nowadays. I can take a step back from that thought. That thought's right here, but I'm observing that thought. And I said, oh, that's the old me trying to creep back in, and I know what to do about that. And that's
yeah,
what we want to help you learn how to figure out. You need to learn how to look at your thoughts objectively and not identify with your thoughts
yeah,
because you have so many thoughts each day, and a lot of them are reoccurring, but you don't have to act on them. But
yeah.
you can act on the good ones.
Yeah, don't judge a motherfucker that's sitting up here being honest with you when you can't even be honest with who you
Yeah.
are. Don't point judgment at someone that's been through some shit because a lot of times that's what gave them the ability to be honest with you and stand up here. It takes a lot to sit up here in front of these cameras, man, and try to pour out our life in front of you guys, man, and tell you the truth. A lot of you guys won't tell you one fucking story of your life
Yeah.
because A, it's probably too damn boring, no one will listen to it anyway. And B, you're scared. You're scared of what people might think about you. So we're putting a lot on the line to come up here and be judged and tell you guys the truth of what happened in our life, man.
Yeah, a strong man is a vulnerable man.
You know?
You got to be strong
Yeah.
and you got to be vulnerable because you got to get that shit out. You keep that shit inside of you,
Yeah.
it's going to eat you the fuck up.
Yeah, and that's funny you talk about that. I wanted to bring that up too. As far as meetings, why there's a program and AA meetings and stuff like that for people. It's important for people to get stuff off their chest and talk about their life, how it was like, what it's like now, and that helps keep them sober. I use social media for that same thing, so I don't have to go to as many meetings as I normally would because I do that. I've built a community online of like-minded individuals that have the same purpose at hand, and this is me being accountable right here, telling my story over and over and over, so I don't forget. And you guys talk about accountability. Try telling the world what the fuck you're gonna do, and then not showing up. You think, you know what I'm saying? You guys hide. You guys hide. It's no big deal, right? All I gotta do is be accountable to myself and face myself after I lie to myself for the third time this week. But how about I gotta try lying to the whole? Tell everybody what you're gonna do online. Try that out.
Yeah. And
If,
follow through with that shit.
yeah, I mean, if being a fraud bothers you, if it doesn't, then I guess you're on a different level, man. But being a fraud just doesn't set well with me. So that's a lot of the motivation that I have. If you guys want to use motivation, it's really discipline. But that's
Yeah.
that's a lot of that's it keeps me going because I said it. It's
Yeah, I
my
don't know how to fake the funk and that's one of our hacks. So if you want to try it, say what you're gonna do online in front of a bunch of people, because then if you don't, you're gonna feel like shit. So you better do that shit.
Yeah,
You know,
fuck yeah.
that's one of our tricks. We put that shit out there, so
Yeah.
now in our minds we have no choice to do that shit. That shit's already out there. You
Yeah.
know, can't go back on that.
Because a real man holds his fucking word.
Right.
In my book, I mean, I was raised like that, and every man that I ever respected was a man that you could fucking trust what he said, bro.
Yeah, one of the old sayings is
Yeah.
you got your word and your nutsack.
That's it.
You got to keep them both.
That's that's it though, man. I've always respected a dude that does what he says he's gonna do, man.
Yeah.
You know, man, that was another rock bottom for me, real quick. About 2 months before that mishap happened, I remember I was sitting in my bed or my daughter's bedroom reading her a little story before bed. I was buzzed up, talking stupid, and she's like, "Dad, when are you gonna quit?" I said, "I'm gonna quit next week," and she laughed. She laughed. She looked at me and laughed.
Yeah.
But it was like a sad laugh. Like she said,
Like, yeah,
she
sure,
said,
you're right, Dad.
She said, "Dad," and shook her head. Man, Phew, that killed me, dog. That killed me.
Yeah, I feel that.
Because I knew she knew I was full of shit. Yeah.
And as much as I do it for myself as well, I do it for those people that stuck by me for so long, and some of them aren't there anymore. But I still do it for them because I know at the end of the day they had a lot of love for me, and I'm sure they still have love for me. They just don't trust me. And I'm trying to earn that trust back.
Yeah. I mean, how do you guys feel when you tell your kids something and they know that you're not going to follow through? They don't believe you. And what kind of example is that setting, man? Because they're going to end up doing the same shit because they think that's all right. They think it's all right to talk shit and not follow up on your word, man.
Right.
What kind of shit is that?
Got to lead by example.
What kind of fucking shit is that, man? A parent's supposed to be regarded as a person that you trust wholeheartedly, man. In my book, you know. But,
Absolutely.
you know, so
now that we touched on some painful moments in sobriety, and we've talked a lot about our children. What has sobriety done for your relationship with your children?
whew, everything, dog.
Everything.
Everything, man. I could see it in their eyes. You know, I can get I shouldn't even say mad at them. I could scold them, and they have more respect for me. Just the respect has changed. The respect has changed 100%. When they see the world engaging in faulty activity, and they see their dad withholding, you know, when everybody says it's all right, they respect that shit. They know. They fucking know. They go, damn. And they're proud of that shit. They are. And then when you tell them something, it holds more weight, holds much more weight behind it because they go, okay, Dad's doing it. It's working. I see his life, how much better it is. It's the truth. It's not a bunch of bullshit. It's not a bunch of hot air. People just fucking talking. And these kids are smart. They know they're little sponges, man. They suck everything up. You know?
Yeah, and they got the internet, so they understand a lot more shit.
Yeah. And it also teaches the kid, because I got two daughters, you know, three really. I got a stepdaughter as well. It teaches them what's right and wrong when they go to look for another man, you know. And my example was terrible, man, for the first few years of my life. I still apologize to my daughter for that. You know, nothing I can really do about it now, but just, you know, keep pushing forward. So.
Yeah. No, that's great, man. And I feel that. I feel that with my whole heart, man. I can't wait to be in my daughter's life. And I'm grateful that she never got to see me fucked off. So the man that she gets to meet when the time comes is a good man.
Yeah.
And that's thanks to the program and to spending time with guys like you and having positive role models in my life to see what that looks like.
All right, homie, so tell us real quick, man, how do we get a hold of you, brother?
Yeah, man, if you want to change your life, you want to lose weight, get in shape, and be the best version of yourself, reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook. Instagram is at connors.fit, CONNORS.FIT. And on Facebook, it's Christian Connors, CRISTIEN space CONNORS. Hit me up, DM me, I reach out to everybody, I'll get back to you today.
Boom.
And how do we find you, Mr. Tankersly?
Tankersly_fit, man. I got Instagram. I get back to all my DMs. If you guys want to change your life, if my story resonates with you guys and this is something that you want in your life, fitness, nutrition, mindset, sobriety, just shoot me a DM. I get back to all my DMs, and I also have a website at the bottom of my Instagram. Appreciate you guys.